Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom, and purposed that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like those heathen, the Israelite foreigners, and the few Akwath that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the great millstone, coming into another lesson in truth. And things just keep pouring in. You know, the Spirit does what the Spirit does, because I had a couple videos that I got from, a couple different subscribers, a couple Akwath and a couple brethren, and I had all intention to do responses to those videos, but, the Spirit do what the Spirit do. And no one really talked about this today, at least from what I've seen. So I decided, well, then, the Spirit is on, I'm going to bring it out. And basically, the media is having a hush-hush on it. But Douglas McGregor and Scott Ritter have both said that the Israelis were attacked by the Russians in the Red Sea. And I've really seen no mainstream coverage on this at all. Because if it's so, which I believe it to be so, it's they don't want it to come out yet, because it's pretty embarrassing to the Israelis and the Americans, because if they attack the Israelis and there's nothing that's been done about it, you think that they would retaliate immediately, but nothing has been done about it. And of course, both sides are denying this. But the details that came from both Douglas McGregor, he was a former, American general, and then Scott Ritter being a former Marine intelligence officer that worked for the UN weapons inspector. Those are two highly credible sources that this is coming from. So without any further ado, before I let the clip play, let me read this one. Because prophecy has to happen, and prophecy is happening. And we do know that the least of the flock, which is, these imposters who are not the Israelites, claiming to be the people of the Lord, they're the least of the flock, and they're going to draw this third war. They're going to draw the other nations into it because of their actions. And you can kind of see all the alliances falling apart and the new alliances forming. And, and basically the whole world is coming against the Israelis for what they're doing to the Palestinians right now. And a lot of them are doing it, not that they even care about the Palestinians, but it just looks really bad geopolitically. And then the monies that are being lost funding Israel, and while denying their own, these UN countries are all, they're all really in a bad shape, but yet they keep funding money to these people because they want a better Israel, just like and America's being screwed over because America's in shambles and really needs to, but yet they keep sending billions upon billions to the Israelis, and then they have also to Ukraine, as America is literally falling apart. All right. So, and a lot of the other nations are looking at this the same way. So you can kind of see the alliances of UN allies flipping sides and jumping with BRICS, as BRICS is gaining more and more momentum. But this is Jeremiah 50:45, and it reads, "Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he have taken against Babylon." All right, so it's, Edom is placed in Babylon yet again, the connection yet again. And his purpose, that he have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right, so, the least of the flock is connected to Edom, which is connected to Babylon. There's no getting around it.
offering conflicting accounts of the incident. According to McGregor, the attack occurred on a sunny morning when a flotilla of Russian naval vessels launched a surprise assault on an Israeli military convoy. The confrontation...
So while everyone was focusing on, the halftime show and the Super Bowl, this is what was happening.
Reportedly took place near the disputed islands of Tiran and Sanafir, located at the southern entrance of the Red Sea. The Israeli convoy, consisting of several naval vessels and transport ships carrying military equipment and personnel, was en route to the Eilat naval base when it came under fire from the Russian ships. McGregor claims that the attack resulted in casualties among the Israeli forces, with at least 2 naval vessels severely damaged and 1 sunk. The Russian government, however, vehemently denies any involvement in the incident.
So this actually happening. It actually happened. All right. The Houthis and Hamas didn't do it. All right. Maybe they did. Maybe it's Iran. Who knows? Either way, an Israeli vessel was sunk and their convoy was attacked. Ships were damaged, and lives were lost. So, and Israelis always like to get their lick back, right? Because they have their big brother America, their big bully brother, their America to come and finish the fight for them. At least they do for now, because America's going to have his hands full in a minute. They're not going to be able to help these Israelis anymore.
McGregor's claims as baseless and fabricated. Russian officials argue that the Red Sea is a far cry from their usual operational theater, and that such an attack would serve no strategic purpose for Moscow. In the wake of McGregor's revelation, the international community has been swift to respond. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session to address the escalating tensions in the Red Sea.
So they're telling you that this happened without telling you that this happened. All right, so let's go to the next. Let's check out the next receipt. As we know, it happened, And so here we go. Here's the next one. Scott Ritter reveals Russia deploys at the top of the screen here. Scott Ritter reveals Russia deploys Navy in Red Sea in support of Houthi rebels against U.S. and U.K. It's getting heavy, man. All right. The Valley of Jehoshaphat, this thing is going down. But let's let a little bit of this play. Let's go.
Remember, Dad, we've got Greenlight Infinity. You can see my location in real time.
How about we
so
kill
the
sound until that bull crap? Yeah, you want to get a free plug on my video? No, you will not. Then they gave you another one. Now they're doing 2. These bastards.
Program that Putin is running.
Houthi rebels in Yemen again expressed defiance after another round of Western airstrikes.
The U.S. military says 3 of its soldiers have been killed and 34 have been injured.
In a world where geopolitics often resemble a complex chess game, the recent revelation by Scott Ritter, a former United Nations weapons inspector, has added a new layer of intrigue. According to Ritter, Russia has taken an unexpected and bold step by deploying its navy in the Red Sea to support Houthi rebels in Yemen against the interests of the United States and the United Kingdom. This revelation has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circle and raised a host of questions about the implications for regional stability, global power dynamics, and the ongoing conflict in Yemen.
So this area right here, let me get my pointer, is where everything is going down. All right. This area right here. Okay. This area right here, that's where everything's going down. As you saw the video that I did yesterday on, I think it was on Maccabean Spirit Ba, how the Houthis, the Yemen government, mapped out and showed you they knew all the cables were that they could disconnect, that would shut down the UK and Americans' communications and internet. At least 17% of the world's internet. Or 17% of American UK's internet. That's a lot. That's huge. All right. And then all of a sudden they started talking about a possible season, not to have this attack up here in Rafah, because the Israelis were planning on attacking the last refugee camp of the people in Gaza who've been forced all the way to the border. All right. and they were talking about a ground attack on these people to just to continue with their genocidal holocaust against these people at this point who were just living in tents and with no resources, no clean water, none of that. And it's something like 75 to 80% women and children. All right, I mean, they want to do a ground invasion on them now. So it's just getting so hot over there. Then all of a sudden you have two credible sources both saying that the Russians that the Russians spun the block on the Israelis. And when you and you know how the Israelis get down, you're not spinning the block on them without them spinning the block on you. They're gonna spin the block right back on you. All right. So here, let me set up this last video. Okay, because you best believe that these nations, when I read that the least of them shall draw them out, the nations shall hate the whore and they're gonna turn on her. All right, and all this is gonna go down in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. So let me grab that real quick. This is Joel, the 3rd chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 1. And it says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem," I mean, he's going to end it. So no more contracts, no more being controlled over by Esau, Edom, no more birth certificate, no more social security numbers, no more control over you, right? You free. You'll be able to just travel the world because you feel like going. You don't have to get permission from your rulers. All the Lord's going to end all that. Okay. And it says, "And I will also gather all the nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat." That was a map that I previously showed. That was the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. And it says, "And I will plead with them for my people, for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." So let's jump over to Isaiah 66 and 15 to see how the Lord is going to plead for his people. All right. And he's not gonna plead and beg. All right. Matter of fact, let's put this in the proper barrel in the green. It says, "For behold, Yahweh will come with," Isaiah 66 and 15. "For behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by the sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many." He's gonna slay these people. And there's a scripture that says, "From one end of the earth to the other." All right, from one end of the earth to the other is he going to put it on these people. All right. So let's go back to Joel. And it says, I'm going to start at verse 2 again. "And I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." We were scattered through slavery, and they parted the Holy Land. The Holy Land is scattered between Edomites and Ishmaelites. All right, just as this prophecy says. It's the Edomites, the Amalek, the first of the nations, because they get put before all other. The Israelis get put in front of all other white people, no matter what. No matter what, all other white people, or so-called, because you can clearly see this guy's red. Tucker Carlson is red. They're not white. All right, just like this, Edom means red. All right, but the Israelis get put in front of all other Caucasian people. All right, all other Caucasian people come second to them in their needs and their wants. Point blank, period. All right. And it says that they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. All right. And these are some of the things that they were doing to our people during the slave trade. Mainly the Jew. You know what they did it to the northern kingdom too. All right, because they were taking them from the Americas over into Europe and into Africa. Okay, it says, yeah, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Tyre and Zidon are what you refer to as African people today, Hamites. All right, the people of Tyre and Zidon were in cahoots with Ishmael. All right, and it says, all the coasts of Palestine, will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? So they were in cahoots with Esau. So it was Esau, Ham, and Ishmael. And if you watch the very first movie of Roots, the very first one that came out in the 80s, late 70s, about the 40-minute mark of that movie, they show you exactly what I just read. They show you Edomites, Hamites, and Ishmaelites, Arabs, capturing Israelites, so-called black people. As a matter of fact, I think I may have a video.
If you want this, you gotta go in this store and just be like,
So,
give me the...
I hate it that TikTok does it. It really irritates me. It just, you turn it on, it just starts playing shit. All right. No, I mean, I have that video in this stash. It may have been on Instagram, which would be on the phone that I'm actually recording with. Let's see if I can find it this way. How about I do this? Just give me a second. Bear with me. It was that scene with that Edomite pastor, who could have been a Jake. He was so passionate about.
Estimating that about 28,000.
He was so passionate about the Israelites' plight and them not being Africans, but being that their history didn't start in Africa, but in Israel, and that they were refugees. So he was teaching that. This was a white pastor, and he was in some sort of hall when he was doing it. Let's see. Seeing if it pops up. Well, it wasn't what I was looking for, but it's just music and out. That's not it. But it's saying, yes, African Americans are Jews. The tribe of Judah, aka the British Royals. Well, yeah, there's a lot of truth in that saying, because they were the actual royal families during a time of during the time of the Dark Ages and the medieval times, until they were taken down, during the Renaissance. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste more time looking for it. I mean, hold on, I'll try this one last thing. Let's see if it pops up this way. Nope. Can't find it. So yeah, when I saved it earlier, but yeah, it must have been on Instagram when I did it. Well, let's see what she says.
Second of all, I do want to clarify too that I know that the black people that are here.
Okay, now this is really old. This is probably about a good 13, years old, but we'll play it anyway because it's still going to be new to a lot of people. So let's play it real quick.
I was, and it'll help wake them up to see the truth. So that's what I'm hoping. So, all, I do want to clarify too that I know that the black people that are here in the United States now are not African. I know that. The term African American is what the white man has pinned on them. Basically, I feel to try to keep hiding their true identity. They want them to think they're African, so they won't find out who they really are. So I know, and I wanted to clarify that.
Well, and that's enough,
I know the black people here.
She knows, the world knows, and people just don't want to admit it. So let's play this short thing right here from this Jimmy Dore show.
Flexed by it, and so am I. So let's hear what he has to say.
Jimmy, why wouldn't the Germans say something about it?
This also confuses me. But today's German leadership is guided by the interests of the collective West rather than its national interests. Otherwise, it is difficult to explain the logic of their action or inaction. After all, it is not only about Nord Stream 1, which was blown up, and the Nord Stream 2 was damaged, but one pipe is safe and sound and gas can be supplied to Europe through it. But Germany does not open it. We are ready, please. There's another route through Poland called Yamal Europe, which also allows for large flow. Poland has closed it, but Poland pecks from the German hand. It receives money from the pan-European funds, and Germany is the main donor to these pan-European funds. Germany feeds Poland to a certain extent, and they close their route to Germany. Why? I don't understand. Ukraine, to which the Germans supply weapons and give money. Germany is the second sponsor of the United States in terms of financial aid to Ukraine.
Wow.
There are two gas routes through Ukraine. They simply closed one route, the Ukrainians. Open the second route and please get gas from Russia. They do not open it. Why don't the Germans say, look guys, we give you money and weapons, open up the valve, please, let the gas from Russia pass through for us. We're buying liquefied gas at exorbitant prices in Europe, which brings the level of our competitiveness and economy in general down to zero. Do you want us to give you money? Let us have the decent existence. Make money for our economy, because...
And you best believe people in Germany feel this way, and other European countries as well. And they're going to turn on America. They're just waiting for the right time. We're waiting for the Lord to put the Spirit on them to do it. And that's soon.
This is where the money we give you comes from. They refuse to do so. Why? Ask them. That is what is like in their heads. Those are highly incompetent people.
I'm just going to say, I think we just had like a minor earthquake.
We did. Oh, I did fart.
Just one of those. Listen, man, you got to get your WEF approved butt plugs, Kurt.
Man, this dude always got something fruity to say. But this is Revelation 17:16. And then the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. All right, because these nations haven't forgot what was done to them. And they did. They really F Germany over. They F Germany over going back to World War II. And have been ever since. And just completely ruined their economy with the Nord Stream thing. And hurt them really bad, and other parts of Europe as well. All right? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. All right? So when this thing finally goes full-blown 100%, and when those arrows begin to fly, America's allies, like it says, those who were once with thee are now against thee. So it's not going to turn out well for America or the Israelis. And that time is at hand. All right? And it's going to get really bad here before that happens. So prepare yourself. You know, stay in prayer. That above all things. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash, Kwam Yasserala, Shalom.